the back's off the TV. We've got the power supply board here, we've got the main board here, T-con board underneath this panel, and then the high voltage board here to the backlighting tubes. And looking at the power supply board, you can see there's a certain amount of discoloration around this panel here from heat by the looks of it. It's not too bad, but you can see where the board's been getting quite warm and it's now discoloured. But I've had a look over the board for things like bulging capacitors and stuff like that, and couldn't see any obvious signs of problems. And so it looks like the problem's underneath this panel on the underside. So I'm going to have a look at the underside now, take this board out and check underneath. Looks like the problem with this television is the power supply panel. So if you look very closely at these solder joints, you'll see that they're actually dry. It's difficult to see with this camera, but you can see around the pin there is a little break in the solder, and so what happens is they heat up. These will heat up and they'll work for a while, and as the unit heats up, these will expand and eventually disconnect, so the TV will go off. And it's basically the constant heating and cooling of the panel that will cause these solder joints to crack and become dry joints. So we just need to resolder these and check for any other dry joints elsewhere. This is on the transformer of the power supply, one of the switching transformers, and so if this fails, or if the connections fail, then the power to the television will fail and the TV will go off. Checking for dry joints and soldered up the switching transformer here and found a few other dry joints scattered around the board, so I've soldered those, or re-soldered those, and hopefully that's solved this one. I'm going to clean the board up now and with some isopropyl alcohol, and put the board back in and soak test the TV and see if it's fixed the problem. The TV is powering up, which is always a good sign, but I need to leave it now and let it run for a while and see if the fault develops, which basically after a while it will go off. So I just need to run the TV and see if it goes off. So I'll run it for probably a few hours and check that it doesn't go off in that time, and hopefully everything's okay. It's the TV running right now with a signal. I thought it'd be better to run it with an actual signal than just leave it with a blank raster on the screen. So that's just running from my laptop here for the HDMI output from the laptop into the HDMI on the television. I've got the audio turned down because I wanted you to hear me and not the audio from the television. So I'm going to run this now for a few hours and make sure it doesn't go off or develop any other issues. And right now it's working fine.